Sigma men are naturally focused on being self-aware, and trying to remove ignorance from themselves and others. They don't want to be clueless about their own shortcomings or strengths, and want to be acutely aware of how to navigate these qualities, in order to improve and achieve the goals they set out for. For Sigma, being objective when it comes to analyzing both themselves and others, is truly important. Of course, like anyone, the Sigma male can struggle with true self-awareness, as this is a process. The biggest hurdle for Sigma can be processing and accepting their own emotions, as this is not something they tend to focus on. Self-awareness is not always an easy thing to obtain. For some, it seems harder than for others. Self-awareness means digging deep into your own emotions and inner thoughts, and searching to understand what is going on underneath the outer appearance. Sometimes this leads to painful memories, and recognizing certain flaws which we don't always want to accept. Self-discovery can be a challenging journey. Sometimes it is painful, and other times it is very rewarding. Ultimately, the struggles we endure trying to understand and accept our positive and negative traits can be an amazing way to grow and become the best version of ourselves possible. The more people lack self-awareness, the easier it is to hurt those around us without meaning to, which is why it is so important. Sigma male introspection. Sigma males are analytical and introspective men, who value being able to grow and learn. They believe in spending time trying to understand their own motives, as well as their own goals. This is part of what makes them so determined and confident in their abilities, as well as the path they are on. When a Sigma man commits to something, he is highly unlikely to back out, and this is often because he spends a lot of time analyzing the situation, before he steps into something new. For Sigma, being aware of their goals and desires is an important means of being more efficient in their lives and building the future they want. They will spend time analyzing their own purposes, wanting to fully understand what step will be ideal for them. They have highly introspective and analytical minds, which helps the Sigma man with a better grasp on self-awareness. Sigma males also have their own set of morals, which they have likely spent a lot of time constructing and learning more about. This helps them gain a firm grasp on what they believe is right and wrong, so that they can stand up for these inner beliefs, and not deviate from them. While they might not be emotionally charged people, that does not make them immoral. Sigma men have their own set of inner morals and standards, and they are very sure of them. This is because they have likely spent a lot of energy analyzing and searching for ways to understand themselves, and what they believe in most. This helps them navigate their own path in life, without constantly second-guessing and being unsure of themselves. This is based on a lot of time inside of their own minds, more than most people could understand. This does make certain choices much easier for them, since they know themselves well enough to know what they want, and what they are capable of. Introspection for Sigmas can certainly be a good thing, but it can also be their downfall. They need to find a balance, and not only search for the bad things about themselves. They can go from neglecting those negative traits, to only focusing on them. The trick for Sigma males is to learn when to take a step back, and recognize when they are being too hard on themselves. Self-awareness can be hard for anyone, but it should not only be a painful process. They can learn to see the beautiful things about themselves, and see how positively they can affect the world around them. Being a person who cares about morals and doing what is right and good, is certainly not something to be demeaned or scoffed at. Sigma men are capable of changing the lives of those around them, and make a true difference in the world because of it. The fact that they care so deeply is not a flaw. Instead, it is something that makes them capable of greatness. For Sigma, introspection is important, but they also need to determine where to take action. Instead of always being hard on themselves, they can step outside of that bubble, and look at how others see them. Their emotional awareness. Where Sigma males struggle with their self-awareness journey, is when it comes to their own inner emotions. This doesn't mean they are emotionally inept, it just is something that does not come as naturally for them. They feel things just as deeply as anyone else, maybe even more so in some ways. When a Sigma man cares for someone, this runs very deep, and it is not something to make taken lightly for him. That doesn't mean fully working through all of their emotions is easy for Sigmas, especially in their less mature stages of life. Emotions are just harder for Sigma males to analyze and understand, since they are not based on facts and more proven methods. They believe in relying on steady things and can be proven fully, so emotions just aren't tangible enough. This makes it hard for them to focus on their own emotions, which can cause them to struggle with self-awareness at times. They might not be great at recognizing when they are hurt, upset, or have some sort of past trauma or pain, which might be plaguing them. This is something the Sigma males can work on, and they often want to as they get older. How to be more self-aware. One of the best ways for Sigma men to learn to become more self-aware when it comes to emotions is by simply recognizing. They have a tendency to neglect or ignore their feelings, and so a step towards understanding them is simply giving them a name. When Sigmas notice something is off, instead of trying to find logical answers, they simply need to accept that what is going on is emotional. Sometimes, journaling their thoughts can be helpful for them, since it gives them a means of recording it and seeing it down on paper. Having more tangible methods of reaching their self-awareness goals can be much more useful for Sigma men. So writing this down and trying to keep track of it can actually feel silly at first, but will be useful for them. Even when they are writing or describing an emotion, this can help the Sigma man understand it much better. It might not come out clearly at first, but they can learn to make sense of it much more effectively over time. Sigma men, as they mature, often realize that emotions are important, and not something they can neglect, but it can still be a process towards understanding how to navigate them better. They can certainly use their minds as part of this, they just have to approach it by logically realizing that they will become better and more capable if they no longer push aside those feelings. Tools for proper self-discovery. Introspection is not the only method for understanding themselves better. They need to explore and make time to experience new things around them. The more the Sigma men can dive into their experiences and really step outside of their comfort zone, the more they can start to learn about who they are and what makes them happy. This can help them escape that sometimes negative introspective mode and discover things about themselves which might even be surprising. Their idealistic qualities are often what cause them to see how they could always do better, but this can turn into something less than healthy. Sometimes they need to step outside of this shell and explore the world around them.